Hey, what's up? What's going on? Yeah, been gone for a week. This time wasn't from no bad shit. I was just doing my own thing. Okay, so like, we're just gonna talk about, just something quick on my head at the moment because I really want to make a quick video before I don't know, too much time goes past. And this is really important to me as I really want to talk about the housing crisis and how sad I feel. Because it's like, well, how come like my parents and all the other generations can get a house by 25 or 30 and it's not even deemed as possible for the average American to get one? And obviously we'll speak more about that later, because obviously you can live in Timbuktu, Norway. You live in Timbuktu, Norway, and get like a house for like 100 grand. But we'll be getting into that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's get into the video. Before I start speaking, please like, subscribe, comment, do post notifications, all that jazz. Go to my website. I was working on my website. I have a website at my official company, Chreslie. And yeah, I have my memberships on there, my merch, free courses, free ebooks, free all that stuff. A lot of good content on there. And please support me. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So, okay, what prompted me to even speak about this, Okay, the thing what prompted me to speak about this is because I remember, I just remember the housing crisis in general, and I am going to be moving out soon. Pray, let's pray. I don't give a fuck if you're religious, nigga. Pray that I move out, by next month, and move out by February 29th, 2024. And that did remind me of, I could just get a house, you know what I mean? In technicality perspective, yeah, in a way, houses are cheaper than apartments. And I just thought to me, just overall, just me aging, and then, I don't know, I'm really into finance, economics, and everyday world politics because everything's inherently political. And it thought to me, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm paying, over $2,000 a month for an apartment, right? $3,000 worth, $5,000. I can give me a house with this. Maybe not in the location I'm living in because houses are at least $1 million here. That's not the point. But still, even with getting like a 600 grand property, you can technically, I feel like that is affordable enough for me, living in a very expensive city and county in America. And just got to my knowledge, I'm like, well, when are these properties, or when are they going to go, when are they going to stop with this inflation shit? When are they going to stop trying? When are these people going to start trying to hold value for their houses? And this is the thing. I have been seeing this recently. I know for last year specifically that a lot of property owners has been cutting their prices by 10 cans, girl, 10K, 100K, even $200,000. I've seen them do a little bit over that. That's for more expensive properties. I've even been seeing landlords been lowering their apartments as well. And I want to just talk about that and talk about how not all of them, but the majority of landowners in America, realty owners, landowners, whatever the heck, because of this inflation thing that happened for those 3 years because of supply, demand, and at the same time, these people are bringing equity from their past houses, well, alongside with a loan, money they saved up, and possibly help with their family to put towards these new houses, whether or not they were inherently expensive or not. It was a known thing for at least the past 2 years, for sure, from 2020 to 2022, that people, like I said, however they got their money, however they got it, right? Houses, the market was kind of low the past 2 years because, everybody lost their jobs, lost money, whatnot. Yeah. And yeah, pretty much it. And it all depends on like what's going on within the world. The interest rates were lower back then, and houses and stuff were lower because price of cost, the demand of things were lower. And then people, like I said, you can find a good house for like 400K, 500K, right? And really nice condo for like 300, 400, 500, right? I've even seen, sadly, I did not have at least 15 grand in equity or 15 grand in cash to put a down payment, and I have like $4,000 a month to go pay. Look, I didn't have that, right? But even within my expensive city that I lived in, I saw some pretty good condos in nice areas, condos, townhouses, and homes. But condos and townhouses specifically, they're actually like under 700 grand. Oh, well, they're like 3 bedrooms, right? But, this is the thing. Like I said, I keep repeating myself, but I live in those places where a house in the ghetto would be $1 million for a 3-bedroom. So everything was really nice back then, like in terms of pricing, and you mix the price with the quality of the houses, with the location. People bring in the equity from their past houses, 200K, 300K, 100K, giving it to the landowner in cash, right? Multiple people are doing that. Oh my goodness, I have 300,000 in cash right here to give you. 300 right here in cash right here to give you. They were doing that, and that partially did skyrocket the rental market industry, blah blah blah, whatever, alongside inflation in general, because I personally believe that the company, it's not just like a government thing. A lot of people say, oh my god, the government is doing this, the government is doing this. The government in itself is not single-handedly doing this. Girl, it's not. Possibly, maybe the government might add or increase tax, percentages for whatever goods, services, or paychecks. I would not be surprised at that, but the government did not cause inflation in itself. You're telling me, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, you're telling me these presidents or the congressmen, whoever, right? You tell me these people are forcing McDonald's to remove their dollar menu? You're telling me the government told McDonald's to remove my favorite dollar fucking chicken sandwich? You're telling me the government single-handedly put a gun to Target's head and made it increase its prices by at least 10%? That's what I'm saying. It's like, people say it's like a government aspect, but it's a multitude of things to, make all these things, raise. My day, everything costs my money. And that is part of the housing crisis, right? It's part of, how things are expensive. Because people, like I said, were giving out lots of money in cash. The Airbnb crisis, baby. The Airbnb crisis has also made houses and apartments more scarce, because there was a less opportunity to buy these properties or even rent and live in them. As well as there has been a big boom in certain parts of America. For example, it has been known that people in Texas, California, or let me say more specifically, California, New York, and other related, expensive countries, or countries, girl, was related, expensive states within the country of America. The people in those expensive states, they actually have been moving, and even people in Texas too. But I'm talking about like people where apartments are like at least, like apartments where I live, the cheapest you can get for a studio that does not guarantee it's in a nice neighborhood is $1,500. And these people are complaining in different states are paying $1,300 for a 1-bedroom. My girl, you don't even know it. And where I live, you have to make at least $100K a year to kind of even survive like a regular person. But yeah, people in California, New York, Texas, so forth, having moved to places like Ohio, Wyoming. I think it still is Wyoming, because I'm thinking about this very rich area that is it like the northeastern, the north southern, southern eastern area? I don't know. Even people have been moving to Florida and have been making Florida a bit more expensive depending where you're going. That's also part of it too. People I've seen, and this is on my YouTube videos, of me getting compilations from TikTokers and speaking about it. And there are times where I was sick or a little bit lazy and I didn't want to put my face in it. I am sorry. But basically, in my past videos, come look at that, for those compilations. Even on the YouTube shorts I do have about them, people have been saying like, oh, I don't even live in an expensive area or an expensive state and things are increasing up. And because our people are moving out and they're migrating out from one place, especially people with money, to another, which means the demand is now at a different location or is at 2 locations simultaneously, which means that companies, the city, people will go there, put in their equity, their investments, and build up the area, which makes things, more expensive, on top of companies and people either making faux luxury apartments and houses or even incorporating those luxury amenities to these places. Like, for example, for the longest time, girl, you don't even fucking know it. You don't know it. You don't know it. For the longest time, I've been planning to move to Las Vegas, Nevada. All right? It's because things are open 24/7. I can get weed anytime I want. I live in a state where weed stores close at 10 p.m. and opens at 9 to 11 a.m. Girl, no. And most importantly, Las Vegas, Nevada has been known for their cheap properties. All right? And this is why I'm pissed off, because I have been born and I have been living in what do you call it? A generation, I guess. I'll say a generation, because not a century. I'm not 100 years old. But I've lived through a generation from 2002 to 2023, 21 years old. I've grown and lived through the opportunities that I've missed because I weren't able to get them myself, whether it be from my age, which is 100% of the time, as well as anything else that was stopping me in my personal life. But because of my age alone, irregardless of me even being legally emancipated, because who even knows the rules and laws of that and what I could do, I have been seeing the opportunities be taken away from me. Oh my God, it's like the second I turn 18. Oh, you can't get the shit that you've been, working for. Oh, okay. No, because like in Vegas, I remember you can get a good 4-bed, 5-bed, house. I'm not saying it's like a fucking gaudy luxury house, but it's a really nice quality house for an average of $400,000 to $600,000. If you want something that's still nice, but not like the typical modern luxury minimalist or gaudy places, you can still get a good 4-bed, 4-bath, 3-bath for like $400,000, $300,000, right? And you can even start small and get a good 3-bedroom for like $250K, right? And I've been planning this out, and I've been having a plan. I want to save a $10K and down payment and do all the extra stuff. Girl, I go look last year. Bitch, why the house is like $1 million there? No, hold on. No, because on average, I've been seeing them houses from 200K. The $1 million wasn't even that common in Vegas because you had to make it so extravagant for it to even be that expensive. But oh my goodness, not only they're building big ass luxury places, I know why they're doing that. But even for regular property, like when I call regular, I mean it doesn't have to be extra. It's still a nice quality house, a nice quality property. Extremely expensive. The townhomes and condos pushing 600. And I'm not saying you can find something cheaper, but I'm saying for something that's a turnkey place, meaning that you don't have to put any type of updates or you don't have to replace anything in the house, you have to fix anything. They're really expensive. And for Vegas being one of the cheapest places and places where only like old people go to retire, or maybe some young people or are broken when they live there, or some fucking travel nurses, now everybody want to fucking live there because this whole COVID shit and all this extra shit that, sprawled out everything, which is what, like I said, is making the overall land of America more expensive, especially since that there's been less land and less property to rent or to buy. Too many people, not enough properties. Too many people, not enough not enough affordable properties, too many expensive properties at that. So yeah. And also, whether or not you qualify for this, they do have this thing for Section 8 or low-income subsidized housing or fixed rent housing. Girl, the last time I heard about some shit being fixed rent, that was back in like 2019. Okay, it wasn't even common. Because even within my county of my state where I live in, there's only 10% of fixed rent housing. I don't know for the rest of subsidized low-income housing in my area, but I know it's not common. Because even places for the elderly to live in, right? There's, Jesus, egregious waiting list for the people. Waiting list for like 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. And this was way before the pandemic. This was way before 2019. But I would just look up things and just be curious, right? So these are all the things that adds up to like the cost and demand of housing and why things are so expensive for housing and properties and things like that. And like I said, when there's demand, the cost can go up. You know, people are willing to pay anything, irregardless if they can afford it or not. And it's just, you get, we see what's been going on the past 3 years, right? And it's making me think, you know, I'm very excited for this year. I can't, you can never say never, but it isn't my plan for this year to purchase a property. Possibly I could probably do with a family member this year, work with my, you know, work with, you know, the person who sweats me out his fucking balls. I can work with him. But I'm just curious in general for the whole entire market of renting and buying, right? And especially since I spoke earlier about how growing up, and even a little bit before I was born, when my parents were my age, they were able to, like, I remember my parents telling me all the time, you know what, Miss Girl, ooh, you know what, Miss Girl, my first apartment was $600 for a 1-bedroom in a nice area. Oh my goodness, hello. You know, my parents alongside my other family members were able to purchase property or, you know, do really big business endeavors or just even live, I guess I wouldn't say a completely stress-free life, but a life that I wouldn't really say inherently stressful in my opinion. My family did not, you know, all of them damn near fucking all of them, honestly. All of my family, you know, they never had like a super, you know, financially free life. But what I'm saying is, even with like a lower middle class income, and they're only, you know, taking care of themselves, right? They were able to live. They're able to live, have fun, do multiple things. It's also as part of because there are less things behind paywalls in terms of like entertainment and things like that. But yeah, it's just like, it's so whoa. It's just sad and surprising to hear that. You know, even with me being alive growing up, right? I remember like it's dark in 2010 and people will always say that, you know, girl, back in 2010, usually a 100K salary and you can take care of 4 people, girl. Actually 5 people. Take care of your 6 motherfucker. Take care of you, your fucking spouse, your 2 little fucking kids, and then your dog, bitch. Oh my god, like, you damn near take care of the next neighborhood with $100,000 a year. $100,000 a year, I know, granted, it depends where you live, but even within where I lived at, right, in my expensive area, because I've been living here my entire life, $100,000 was fine. Maybe 150, but that's all you need. And you are a balling ass motherfucker getting $100 a year back then, right? You were able to get yourself a house back then. And it's so interesting how when you think about it, and unless, yes, I said, I know the 60s and stuff was like 70 years ago, whatever. The funniest thing is, when you think about these things, they don't feel like a long time ago unless, you know, you think about it, do the math, look at your fucking grandma, right? But it's so funny how, you know, as decade goes, you know, the average age of an average American getting a house, meaning that American coming from a middle class family, earning through the traditional means of 9-to-5ism, or even a business that doesn't mean they have to be a millionaire or a billionaire. The average American was able to get a house, right? I think by the average age was probably like 32 or 35, right? But, you know, it's not uncommon to see Americans ages 22 to 27 years old getting their first nice house. So, you know, back then, maybe like by 25 or a little bit younger, in the 60s, but I even know like when I was a child and even a teenager, the average age was between 25 and 35 years old. And now, as an adult, I can drive. Oh my goodness. I'm going to be 22 this year. The average age for the average American to get the house may be just 40, their 40s and 50s. I wouldn't be surprised. Or at least today, you know, today isn't the same as tomorrow. Tomorrow it could be the 2008 recession again. Who knows, right? But what I'm saying from what we're doing today, The average American cannot buy a house. The average American, obviously depending what city and state you're in, has to go live with roommates, bro. You know, why do I have to get a house in Timbuktu, fucking Kentucky, Topeka, Kansas? No shade to Topeka, Kansas. What I'm saying is I have to go in the middle of nowhere to get the house and then wait for other people to come in or bring in my own money or have some type of investors to bring in the entertainment there, and then eventually make it expensive there too, like they did everywhere else. But at least I have a fixed mortgage, you know? This video doesn't really have a structure. I guess I'm going on a tangent, ranting or talking. I'm just wondering what's the future of this year. Excuse me. So my personal predictions for this year for the housing market, from what I can see and from what I've seen from last year and the years, you know, prior, is that I do believe, you know, I believe the housing market for renting and buying houses, apartments, and property in general, I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if it goes up a little bit, but I wouldn't necessarily predict the sudden increase of how much everything was costing. You know how, you know, the jump cut from, you know, the average house was like, you know, because the thing is the average house jumped by 300K in 3 years in pricing, like 300,000. And I wouldn't personally say, oh, go up any more than maybe like 320. I wasn't over 350. I would be expecting, depending on the location and stuff like that, what kind of property you're looking at, I would be expecting some price cuts. And I would say this year is a good time to negotiate the pricing, to lower it down. Obviously, it depends on the property, the location, the price, and how desperate the real estate agent or the landowner, whatever, how desperate they are for it. But I do believe that, you know, prices will be a little bit lower, or just will be really steady. It won't really increase that much. Interest rates are pretty high so far, and this year I'm pretty sure interest rates might be a bit high, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did lower a bit by the end of this year. And yeah, but I wouldn't necessarily say this year is a really good year for the average person, even with 200K salary, to go get a house. Or maybe, yeah, you know, but I wouldn't say, like, I would say you can get a house in Ohio and Pennsylvania, in parts of New Jersey, Texas, in certain parts of Florida this year, you know, things like that. If you can spend like $5,000 a month or a little bit less, you know, than that for a nice house. But obviously, if you're financially affluent or have equity from somewhere else, I do feel like right now it is a good time to lock in and go find a place to lock in. And like I said, negotiate the interest rates, negotiate as much as you can, because it's really good. And a lot of people actually don't know about that, and to really educate yourself on what kind of contracts you can get yourself in. And yeah, because, like, you know, and there's obviously caveats to things, right? But you can get like a 0% interest rate down payment or something like that off of certain rules, and because you gotta go live in a certain location for that 0% down payment. You gotta go, you know, there's different ways to it. I know obviously you can't always get your cake and eat it too, but what I'm saying is, I would say it is more easier and it's more possible to get a house. But I would say it wouldn't hurt waiting until next year to really see how things will go on. Yeah, there's not enough for me to go by right now. But yeah, I have been seeing prices of properties been lowering or been stagnant in their pricing. And like I said, they have been a little bit cheaper, but they've still been more expensive. As for apartments, they're just gonna get more expensive. They are. But I'm gonna still bring up, like, please still look around. Look for pocket locations. A lot of these apartments either way won't have their listing up on Zillow, apartments.com, Trulia, or whatever related. They might not just be online, and we might have to find these good price apartments just by driving around with their now lease available, whatever it is. But keep looking around, keep calling around. And like I said, you know, negotiate. You never know. They can give you $500 off the first month or whatever, 2 months free or something. Because depending on what landlord you meet, you can get a desperate one to just have someone, you know, come in and pay their rent, you know, or at least cover the property. because, give or take, people on social media do lie a lot, but I have seen a few times that people have been saying that their landlord's pretty desperate, $500 off, $1,000 off, or 1 month free, a couple months free. Like, oh girl, damn. Girl, damn. So, pray, manifest, whatever it is, or just hope for the best to find a loan where you can break down enough and, get, half off the first month. And I know that's so mean to say, but not all landlords are nice and good. That's what I'm saying, And more than often not, they're going to charge you as much as they can for you being a new person rather than actually giving you a good price. Think of it like these companies where there's like Black Friday sale, and they just put down their prices to what they would originally price it to, irregardless for sale or not. So let's say the TV would be $500, but its real price would be $300. They'll lower down to $300. So that's what apartment complexes do. I'll give you a real life example, girl. Now, on my way to my door, because I don't own a house. I'm so sorry. Whoa. However, my little nosy ass saw paper on my neighbor's door, and also some little papers were flying around the floor. So, I ain't that nosy now. I ain't that bad. But I picked it up. I read that, oh wow, your rent's gonna be raising up to from blah blah blah, right? And I'm thinking, like, they probably was living there for at least 2 or 3 years at that apartment complex. God, who knows? But what I'm saying is that they were having it was at least like a few $100s under, that what I'm paying. And that's a pretty hefty difference in my opinion, a few $100s is. And so, like I said, it doesn't hurt to negotiate, doesn't hurt to, give a really great first impression, to just try your best to have the best deal you can get possible with the landlord, because you never know. Even if you get a no right now, they might call you a day later, 2 days later, and have a change of mind, change of heart. They might give you a lower price, what I'm saying, at least for the year or for a month or 5 months or whatever. Because like I said, they'll price as high as they can, because you're a new person and you don't fucking know. You don't know. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And I'm pretty sure if you guys need like a new room, a room or a roommate to live in, I will say I can predict that the opportunities for roommate living situations are very high right now. I am unsure to predict that you'll get a good roommate, because I've been getting a room. I feel like from 18 to 20 years old, I've chosen to live with roommates just to, get as much money as I can. I thought it would be that bad. And plus, my papa was really encouraging it, right? It was not great. It was because, like, my roommates, I don't know none of them. And that's you go into that risk, in a roommate situation, you go into that risk. But I did not know any of them, the people I live with, and they're really bad, because whether or not you believe in COVID-19, they were bringing in people, random people, over 5-10 people, and pretty often, when it was at its peak. And the thing is, I spend my personal time around people who are really susceptible to dying because they have an autoimmune disease, they're immunocompromised, and I think that's how you pronounce it. But what I'm saying, like, it's easy for me to kill somebody because of the whole sickness. And irregardless if you believe in COVID-19 or not, or even call it a bad flu, because COVID is a real thing, and a lot of my family members called it. They called that shit multiple times, right? But yeah, putting me into that risk, they're doing that, and like, come on, man, you're doing that. They're being dirty, they're being loud, they're just doing a lot of things, and they would not communicate with me. I would communicate with them for cleaning or for being loud or this or that. They won't communicate with me, but get mad at what they cost of not communicating with me and making things worse. And my roommates would think of random shit in their head and get mad at themselves for thinking it. And all I did was stay in my room. But that was all my roommates. They literally be dirty, bringing people during a really bad crisis where, you could have had me kill somebody from you. They're really dirty, bringing maggots, ants, bugs, roaches. I had to clean them all out. I had to buy cleaning equipment. They had to put it they put bugs in my room. They have bugs in their room. Egregiously loud. I know, me saying this right now, it's like, oh my gosh, I would love to live with a fucking stranger now. No, I know. I really do know. I know. I know, I'm just telling you the reality. Like, even with living with a friend, living with a friend, you could still even be at that risk. So I'm sorry to fearmonger you like this, but what I'm saying is there is an opportunity. However, the prices have raised exponentially, because I remembered for like a small room, it wasn't like teeny tiny, but it wasn't necessarily big, but it was like small, kind of medium-ish. I was paying $800 a month for that little room, and it was in a really nice area, blah blah blah. I did use my feet and the bus to transport, because I love public transportation. My second place was substantially bigger, in like around the downtown area, was $1,000, and that was like a year or two later, right? And I'm gonna keep living by myself personally, you know, I like it. But yeah, I looked around just out of curiosity. The average bedroom in a semi-decent neighborhood at that, not the prime ones I lived in, the expensive ones, it was $1,200 a month. $1,500 and lower, girl. It was you would get lucky you saw $800. That's rare. So like, keynote this, I live in an area where the average apartment is like fucking $2,600 a month for a semi-decent average apartment. Averagely, it's easy for you to spend $3,000 a month, right? So give or take between where you live, but like I said, it's a really good time for a roomie situation right now. It's an okay time to buy a house. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it too much unless you can get a good deal and, you know, get a good interest rate. Apartment rentals, find someone you can break down, girl. Break down a landlord and get that half off for the year or for the next couple months, because they're really trying it. They're really trying it. They're really fucking trying it. But yeah, I think I'm pretty much done. You know, I was speaking about, you know, why this stuff is happening, the inflation stuff, and I'm just really not happy about it. But I'm 21, you know? I'm not 24, 25 where I want to buy me a house, you know? So we can wait then. Like I said, 2024 isn't 2026, 2027, you know? So, yeah, so let me know what you think, and it's just my general just talking rant. It's a quick video, because I just want to put something out real quick and just get this off my chest and to share, and I will make like, you know, a more, and I won't say necessarily in-depth video, like my shit's not fucking good enough. It is, but I'm saying like I'll do a more like, not like planned out video, but I can't explain it, but I know what I'm talking about. You know, I know what I'm talking about. I really do love these like simple talking videos. I can really get my heart out and really just tell my just my full soul. But yeah, let me know how you're feeling, girl, what you're thinking, girl, and the house crisis, girl, because it's just very annoying for me. And it's just like, I'm not struggling or suffering, but what's so funny, it's like I could have got at least two times a better experience if it wasn't for this inflation stuff, whatever. However, you know, I'm still persevering and I'm pivoting because I'm done being a student. So that was part of like the wall. Like, come on, girl. And yeah, so I'm just gonna make more money. As simple as that. Like, girl, you know what I mean. I can make as much money as I want, but I can still get annoyed at this shit. I'm sorry. Like, every year is always something. Every year I always need to prepare. I do recommend, like, really start saving a lot, even if it's $5 a month. I recommend saving $850 a month, because you put, I think it's $100 a year, something like that, because I do that for my Roth IRA. I really recommend just saving some money though, and maybe do a little bit of side gigs, because I feel like things are gonna be more higher. Like, for me, get a basic fast food meal or delivery is $20. No one talked to me about that shit. I hate when people say like, "Oh, we're gonna pick it up then." Okay, now all of us don't have a car. I'm technically disabled. Don't got no car. Girl, I'm still learning how to drive. At 21, yeah, like, and it's just like, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. Everybody's just so stupid. Like, shitty food is $20 to deliver, right? Oh my goodness. Because sometimes, like, I don't have food in my house. Sometimes I can't cook. I be too weak, girl. The average car is like 30 grand now. It used to be 20 grand, 25 grand. Now it's 30 grand. Things are much more expensive. And house is definitely one of them. All right, I'm going on a tangent. Peace out. I hope you guys reach financial success. Get better in your life. Yeah. yeah, check out my website, and I will soon bring up free and paid content about financial literacy and how to achieve it. Because if I can take care of like my family and take care of myself and all this stuff and survive, you know, you can too. I also have health insurance for my parents, so I'm just letting y'all know that, like, you know, I'm a little lucky because good health insurance costs money. All right, yeah, bye.